what we're going to do next is get into the programming of this. So I'm going to close these because I no longer need them. And in server, I'm going to create a new directory called collections. And in here, I'm going to create a new file. And I'm going to call this collection posts. And so posts equals new Mongo collection posts. And then I'm going to write posts.allow insert function return true, update function return true, and remove function return true. And this is going to allow us to insert, update, and remove from that collection. So the posts are going to, let's create a way to put the posts in first. So in the home page, actually I'm going to create a new component here called insert post.jsx. So insert post is going to be the name. It's going to be equal to react.create class. And I'm going to basically render some HTML to put a post in to the database. And so I'm going to form, actually I don't need that. Let's just use a text area. Placeholder is going to be type a post. Name is going to be, actually let's just give it a class name. And we're going to put form control and an ID of post body. There. XML tag has empty body. All right. And then a button. So button class name is going to be button.info, and it's going to say save post. So let's save that, and in the home component, let's render that. So let's just insert post. There. Oh, right, I have to wrap it here. There. All right. Let's indent this so that it doesn't look too bad. And if we refresh this, we're going to see that our new component has been rendered. But if we type stuff, it doesn't do anything right now. So let's have an insert to that collection over here. And how we do that is we're going to create a new function here called insert to collection. It's going to take event. And so once you start getting more functions in React components, you need to separate them with a comma. And what we're going to do is we need to say on click and in curly braces type this and then the function name. So this is going to be insert to collection. And we're not passing anything to it, so you can leave out the brackets here at the end. And the first thing we're going to do is event prevent default. And then we're going to get the post body. So content, actually I need to var content equals, then we can just use straight up jQuery here to get post body. I'm going to console log content, make sure we're getting it. Oh, didn't mean to copy that. There. So let's save that, come back here, refresh this. There we go. And so we are getting that content into that function. So from this point, it's basically regular Meteor stuff. You're going to type posts, insert, and then content is content. So save that and refresh. And actually, to be able to, I am going to wrap this in a form element just because it's there. So that we can hit enter in the text area and it will also submit it. So on submit, we're going to call this dot insert to collection. So we can actually just change this to type equals submit and remove this part here, and this button will also function as a means to insert into the collection. So if I come back here and refresh, let's make sure that gets into the collection. So this is a post to insert to the collection. I'm going to hit enter. Oh right, it's the text area, never mind. And I'm going to save that, and it logs it out. And if I want to make sure that it inserted successfully, I'm just going to, in the console log here, I'm going to find and let's just do that, fetch. And it did put it into the database with content there as the key. So let's actually extend that a bit further by adding date added. It's going to be new date. And if you want to be able to read it easier, you can do this. That's what I usually do. And it's going to make it easier if you get like huge objects that you're putting into the collection. So I'm going to delete that console log now. We do not need that. So now we've got this working. It's a component to insert posts. But how can we get them out of the database? So over in our home component, I'm going to do a couple things. The first is going to be I'm going to add a property called mixins. Put a colon and then this. I'm going to type meteor react or react meteor data. So now we can create a new function, and it's going to connect meteor data to the component, and the function name is going to be get meteor data. We open it up, we do this. So right now I'm going to just get all the posts. And so I'm going to variable posts equals posts find fetch. And then in here, we're going to return certain things to the render function. So I'm going to just type return and then open up curly brackets here. I'm going to return posts as posts. I'm going to save this, and now what we can do is we can access that from the render function by, for instance, let's create a variable here called all posts, and it's equal to this.data.posts. I'm going to console log all posts. I'm going to save that. I'm going to refresh this page. And it's going to log all the posts, which right now this is the only one we have. So that's awesome. How do we get it into here? Well, let's actually go back to insert post here. I'm going to create an input field. Class name is going to be form control. The ID is going to be user. And the placeholder is just going to say user name. Let's end that. Let's put a line break there. I'm also going to put a line break down here. I'm going to also handle this. So var user equals, and then just straight up jQuery from here, the ID of user.val. I'm going to insert that to the collection as well. So user equals user. And then a comma. So we now have 3 fields that will get entered into the collection. I'm going to remove the current one that we've got because it doesn't have this necessary information in it to render it. So I'm just going to type posts find fetch. I'm going to get that ID. I'm going to say posts remove ID that and enter. Now if I run posts find fetch, it finds nothing because we've just removed it.